Okay, it says that we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Boozy Plan-o-Rama that I am hosting on the Cobweb channel of my channel. This is this is actually an incentive that Lisa and I started back in 2020, and it was like in the fall, and you and I were like, let's plan to get drunk together, and it's like, let's put people online together, and so that's how this was born. Behold, the origin story.
That's right. Of the boozy Plan-o-Rama. Let's plan, let's drink, let's do it on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good so far. I think it's worked out pretty well.
I think we ended up moving it to Sunday nights for two reasons. One was because I had D&D on Saturdays, so that was really rough for me. And then the other thing was that we got too drunk, so we thought Sunday would help us.
Shh. That's the part of the origin story we keep quiet. No, and the funny thing is, like, the horror geek and I always have date night on Saturday night, but of course, since the pandemic, we have not really. In the beginning, you sort of try to do that, and then eventually you just give up as all the days run into another. So
yeah. I was reminding somebody because it was like, hey, can you do this thing tomorrow? I was like, right after this thing? I was like, sure, I'll do it. It's like, oh wait, it's tomorrow Wednesday? I was like, yeah. It's like, and so I asked, I was like, so it's like every day Saturday for you right now? And they're like, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's what it feels like.
But, since you are the co-host, would you like to introduce yourself other than me?
Hi, sure, I guess so. Why not? Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Daly. I'm a traditionally published, actually now hybrid published author. And over on my channel, we talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. And I am a sticker addict, and I'm here to plan tonight.
I have gone to the marker overlord at this point, so let me tell you, this is an expensive hobby. Oh, those are the good ones too. I have those too.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Oh, yeah. I have way too many.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm. But let's do the polite thing and say hello to everyone. So Athena was here 6 hours ago.
Athena, hi. Well, you are definitely not going to let anybody else be first, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, I made the note.
We love the commitment.
Yes. Binyu is here. Hello, it's always good to see you. I hope today's treating you well.
Hello.
RC wants to start today off with a spicy conversation of whiskey versus vodka and having had both.
I know I'm more of a rum/tequila drinker. I don't care. Vodka always makes me think of people who are trying to cut calories and get drunk at the same time. And so plus it's got like kind of a aftertaste. For me, I mean, it's liquor, so I guess they all do. But yeah, I'm more of a rum or tequila drinker myself.
Yeah,
personally.
I've switched over to gin lately when I do drink, mostly because I think it doesn't have any sugar in it. And I noticed that if I have things with sugar in it, it just makes me feel like complete garbage the day after.
That's interesting. Whereas sugar is a major component of my diet. You know what? It's funny that you say that. I do not I'm not a big gin drinker, but I do occasionally enjoy a super super dirty martini, like lots of olives, lots of olive juice. Yeah. But only occasionally. I have to really be in the mood for it.
Yeah, because I cut back on my drinking like very harshly, and so although like Mr. Brown and I do like to have like an occasional cocktail every now and then, like maybe once a month, literally right around when you and I are streaming, because I have to go get the bottle, and then like the bottle's in the house, might as well just have some, right?
Might as well.
Yeah. And so we were kind of experimenting. We kind of got to gin, and he wanted to do gin because Ryan Reynolds had a brand, the Aviator.
Well, that's as good a reason as any. I probably have tried drinks for dumber reasons, so that feels reasonable. Sure, why not?
Yeah. So we had that, and then I noticed it's like I don't really have like a terrible hangover, and I'm pretty sure I drink about the same amount that I normally would drink on these occasions. So we've just kind of kept that and left the peanut butter whiskey on the shelf for my sanity and greater good.
Very nice.
RC asking y'all to hit the like button. Not that I would tell you what to do with your lives. It would just make me happy. So thank you if you do.
Thank you, RC.
Sky is here. I think, Sky, are you still doing the heart breathings 90-day thing? I think you are. I didn't write it in my planner, so I don't remember off the top of my head. Yes, this has been going on for a while. I guess if it's on the internet for more than a year, it's been a while. Yeah. Oh, no. No, it skipped. Let's see. Sky says, I am cooking dinner instead of planning at the moment. Equally important.
Mm-hmm.
Mama Ward is here. It's so good to see you. Thank you for stopping. Aphrodite is here. Hello, Aphrodite. I didn't get to tell you in Tamara's stream that I joined in the other day, but I really like your new avatar.
Yeah, it's pretty fabulous.
And For the Music is here. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to the snarky comments. Let's see. JC is here. Hello, JC. How are you doing this evening? Well, actually, that's a great question because that's going to segue me into what I was going to say. Yes, Lisa and I are extremely exhausted. Like we're really tired. And so probably at the hour mark, we're going to end the stream. I don't know about your guys' month, but like mine has put me through the ringer. And I think this is probably the first day where I didn't feel like I just got drugged through the trench. So I'd like to keep that for tomorrow too. So in an hour, we're going to call it. But I have plenty of questions to ask before then.
I know. I'm so appreciative of the fact that you're super organized. Because I guess this is the nice thing about going back and forth and hosting it on like every other month on your channel or mine, because every other month you like get to be the person who just wanders onto the stream and doesn't have to do anything except plan and have cocktails. And the other person has to do all the stuff. It's nice. It's nice to share that. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like the going back and forth with that too. Let's see. I was also going through the comments, so multitasking. So sorry if I didn't see.
No, you're good.
Let's see. Mama Ward says that her favorite is amaretto. That used to be like, yeah. And I don't know if you guys had the problem because I didn't drink it very fast, but like the sugar would like seal the bottle, and we'd have to like use a hammer to get it off.
You know, you really need a drink when you get out the hammer.
So I bought that booze. I'm gonna drink it. See, peanut butter whiskey is good as a shot or over ice with Bailey's. I have tried that. I actually, when I was drinking it, I like to have it with like, it was like a blueberry. I can't remember the name of it, but we put it in there. It tasted like PB&J, and I was like, we can never have this in the house again. So we had it the one time, and then that was it. It was gone.
That was it.
Yeah. Let's see. JC understands. June's been hard. Yeah, it's been rough. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. I skipped a couple of comments, not because I didn't appreciate or want to put y'all up on the screen, but if I have to keep doing that for like the whole hour, then we won't get anything done. But Sky did confirm that she is doing the HB90 series, which is by Heart Breathings. It's one of her courses that she does for planning out your life in 90-day increments. So
I love one of the things that she does is she plans out, like she does like these sort of 13-week blocks, but like you're working for 12 weeks and then the 13th week, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you start the first week. But anyway, I remember having a conversation with her about this at Novelist Inc. and about how she does that, like that 13th week is like your planning block. And I thought that was really very clever the way that she set that up.
Yeah, that actually also is stated in a book. It's called 12-Week Year. And it's a book that came out like maybe, I don't remember the date off the top of my head. But they also talked about how they try to get stuff done within 12-week increments, with the 13th week being review and prep for the following. So, yeah, I literally live by that. That is actually, so since we're talking about planners and stuff like that, I'll just show you guys. So the way that I do it, I guess I'll show with this thing. So I break down my organization to like a point of redundancy, and I already know that, and I accept this, and this is how I have control of my life, and I appreciate your guys' understanding. Thanks. But so one of the things that I do in like the beginning of my planners, I've got a page. It's called the I am statement. And so, it's going to say things in here like, I'm a lifelong learner, I'm an author, I'm fit and healthy and stuff like that. And then right over here on this side, I break down what that looks like, because I can say I'm fit and healthy, but what does fit and healthy look like to me, right? Does it look like I go for like walks every day? Do I run so I'm going to keep that to 3 things. So if I say, for example, like I'm a lifelong learner, my 3 things three things for that are I read, because lifelong learners read. I take online seminars and classes, one quarterly, because that's all I can fit. And then I also I take notes because, and I got that from a book, well, not a book, but a course I took, and it was called Building a Second Brain. And they talked about how we go and we take all this information and we like put it in our brains, but we don't record it or we don't implement it. And so one of the things that I do is that when I read books that are kind of like geared towards either helping me at work or myself, is I take notes. And I actually do that in a commonplace book, which is not anywhere on this desk where I would show that. So go on. I'm sorry.
No, I think that's a really great idea, actually. It's funny because I had not done writers' conferences for a while, like for a couple of years, and I always loved them. And last year I went to Novelists Inc., which was fantastic. But a good friend of mine, actually the person who originally told me about Novelist Inc., had said that she was not going because she'd get all excited, she'd listen to all these speakers, and then she'd go home and she never implemented anything. And so, which I thought was really interesting. But I think it's probably a really common issue. And one of the things that I've been doing for ages, which is something that my friend Lisa McLeod had suggested, was that because you get so excited when you do, like when you do a really good writers conference, and I am going back to Novelist Inc. this year, but I'm also doing Sky Warren's romance author mastermind conference. And so I think like, okay, I'm going to be around all these like really super high performing authors, and I want to make sure that I'm implementing some of the advice. And one of the things that Lisa and I had started doing years and years and years ago is to pick like 3 things and that you really want to implement in your career in the next year. So instead of trying to do every single thing, right, because you get all these great ideas, that you just pick like 3 things that would make the biggest impact. And maybe you decide to do 4 or 5 or whatever later, but you're like, okay, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to start putting them in my planner right now to start executing this stuff. Like if it's really important, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to make this happen this year. And I feel like that makes such a huge difference, because it's better to do 3 really big things or 3 medium-sized things than to have a bunch of stuff where you'd be like, oh, this would be so cool. And then a year later, you haven't done any of it.
Yeah. So, and that kind of brings me to my next layout, because I have nothing but layouts here. And it's literally like I broken down 13 weeks into 3 days, right? And the thing with that is on the side here is I put one of those things that goes towards those main goals. So like being an author, right? Like in order for me to be an author, I kind of have to write.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So I tell myself that if I write like, a little bit, like 3 times a week, then at least I'll get somewhere where if I didn't. So that's kind of how I nitpick that. And I'll probably put a picture on my Instagram if you guys want to see all that in higher detail. So
that'd be lovely. That would be lovely. That would be lovely.
That would be fantastic.
It would be. It would be. So what are you planning on? I want to say RC is going to have a book launch pretty soon. So I'm excited that he is going to be writing during our planning stream today instead of planning, because I feel like that means we'll get a book sooner, which would be kind of awesome. I know, pretty exciting.
But we'll see. But you were going to ask a question. I felt like
I might have. That could have been true 3 minutes ago, but it is not true now because it just went over my head. So I don't know what my question was. Oh, what are you planning tonight? What are you working on?
So I was actually trying to look at everything I'm juggling right now and trying to decide if I want to fit YouTube videos back into my schedule. And I wanted to take this time to kind of, so the way that this works for me, I can't speak for Lisa, is that when I host the stream, I know I'm going to be busy hosting and not planning. So I get everything done ahead of time. So I did that, and I've had like 2 people ask me about making videos, and part of me is kind of like, yeah, maybe. And then like, I have to look at the reality of like, how fucking busy am I? Like I have because I have a full-time job and I have books I want to write. And if I do want to do YouTube videos, like what does that look like? And so it's like that's what I'm going to be planning.
How are you going to make that work out?
I'm doing soul searching. That's what I'm doing.
Athena just popped up a comment about Athena's working on their Kanban board, and then Sky said I set mine up in Notion, and then Athena was like, yeah, that sounds cool. I am now doing I've been doing my Kanbans in Notion for a while, for not like a super long while, but maybe 6 months now. And I love it. I absolutely love it, because then you can, you've got your Kanban, but then also you have like any sort of like spreadsheets or calendars, or you can set reminders, or all sorts of things. It's like a Kanban board come to life. I am so madly in love with my Notion Kanban boards.
Yeah, and I don't have my phone with me, but if you are interested in Notion, we're not sponsored and we're not affiliate codes, and I'm really sorry. But if you are interested, like Notion's very versatile. It's a computer app. It's on the web browser, and you can put it on your cell phone too, and all that jazz. And I used that pretty hardcore for 8 months. And the only reason I kind of migrated away from it wasn't because it was a stellar product, but it was because I was looking at a computer screen or a little screen for like 18 hours a day. My eyes were bleeding.
That's a lot. And it is free for like just like the little personal plan. You can do all the stuff we're talking about on it for free. So
yeah, absolutely.
I did upgrade recently to the paid plan, which is pretty reasonable. I think it's like $8 a person, because it made it easier to work with like an assistant. And so if you have somebody that you're doing planning with, or like a partner, yeah. What? Good job. That's nice.
Yeah, because you and I collaborated on something that was just
did.
Yeah, that's where I just sent you all the updates. Like, it's here.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. Like, that was what originally gave me the idea. And then it was like we were like, oh, let's do this together. But the way that we had to share it was like, I was on your Kanban rather than like, and we couldn't, like, we would have to like text back and forth when we were working on stuff together. And so I like having like a team Kanban, because then you can like assign stuff to each other, and that way, like, then you get like a little, reminder, which you guys know me, I need a lot of reminders. Although Carrow does fulfill that function when we do stuff together. She's like the best reminder ever.
I just know that you're busy. That's all. So I know you're taking like some time off, and here's the question that I was going to ask today. Oh, look at that. I didn't know that you could collapse the comments. I have learned a thing today. Oh, and don't do that because it wipes out all the comments. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just did that. But so how do you go about planning your week or month, Lisa? Like, what do you do?
So I start off with my calendar. So I have like all, like in my, I just use an Erin Condren planner. I have a sticky note on the front. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I just use an Erin Condren planner, and I use this format. And so they put these little magical cards in, and I always stuff them. Hold on. Like, they're just random. This one says, your potential is endless. And so I just stuff them into random days so that they surprise me. And I go, oh, that's so nice. And then I stuff them into another random day later on. But if you hold up your planner, they come out. Anyway, so I have my big planner, but then I also work with a to-do list. And so this is like my daily tasks. And it usually gets pretty big, for the beginning of the week. But that's how I do that. So sort of the big concepts and all my appointments go into my planner. And then just like the little niggling tasks that I have to do are on the to-do list. But all the sort of publishing stuff, and like when I'm doing newsletter swaps, or when I'm scheduling book promos, or when, all that stuff goes in the planner. And that's sort of life central right there.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
I kind of take a look at the quarterly goals and what I have set up and where I am with that, and what I'm trying to work towards. I made the mistake, not a mistake. I made the learning experience. That's what we'll call it. I made the learning experience of trying to put like my works in progress on here.
Mm-hmm.
And initially I was like, yeah, I'll just put in when I'm working on these things, and that will help. And the problem that I encountered was that as the quarter continued to go, the works in progress I had started to rotate, because like I would work on something, give it to an editor, work on something else, go back and forth with a beta reader and things like that. And I found that as that number grew, I didn't have any space in here to do it. So I actually did what I said I wasn't going to do, and I got another planner.
Well, I will say for rotating projects, because I often have several things going at once, I do have a content calendar set up in Notion with deadlines, so it pings me when I have something coming due. And also for various projects, like, so for some things that I'm writing, I'll have, my, like, the outline for what I want to do in Notion there. For when I'm doing like promotions or book launches or things like that, I'll have all like a Kanban board set up there. And then they're all sort of interconnected with a big like list on Notion. And so that way I can keep track of all of those dates. It doesn't mean that stuff doesn't occasionally fall through the cracks. Like it took me like 2 extra days to do the thumbnail for this live stream.
You had life going on. But yeah, so I just went and made another one. And this is also the one that I track it's my plot book. That's what I call it. So it has like the crux of all my plots, and also has like all of my newsletter things here too. So yeah. Mm-hmm. If the house is about to burn down and I have to save 2 things, these 2 planners are going to be it.
Those will be it.
And notice I said things, not individuals, not pets. Things.
I get it. I totally get it. So Aphrodite was saying she still really loves the physical I cannot get my timer to stop. I must have hit repeat last time. Aphrodite was saying I really love the physical Kanban board on my wall. I still have mine up, but I will say I am a convert. I love the Notion Kanban. And I use it more, and I use it in a much more in-depth way, because I can attach all like any files or anything like that, any supporting stuff that I need. And I'm just madly in love with that feature.
Yeah, that program, not to get too nerdy on it, but that that program really is absolutely outstanding, because when I was first learning, rotating back to the earlier comment about the second brain, when I was first kind of fleshing out that for myself, I actually did it in Notion. And for doing that, there's some places where I'm like, yes, that works better. And then other places where I'm like, I get kind of weird because I like to write things down.
I'm the same way. This is why I still have a physical to-do list. Yeah.
So like for like preserving like internet links and things that you need to go, like knowing that it's there and where you can easily find it, it's absolutely perfect. And Thomas Frank and a whole bunch of other like productivity people on YouTube like really swear by it. And I mean, like I said, I used it. I think it's 100% fantastic. I just got tired of staring at a screen all day. So
I can totally relate to that.
So now let's see. So Athena says weekly is pretty much same day, different whatever for me. And I have a pretty good routine. I have a passion planner daily for journaling, and I break it down there. That's good.
I love that.
Yeah. Sky says I'm setting up my Notion Kanban board, and then I have my HB90 planner with an hourly time block system, and then I do the Alistar weekly to-do list in my Buja. So you've got like, I'm sorry, I'm just picturing like, and I say this with absolute love, I picture you always walking around like this.
I will say I love the hourly time block. I try to block out time for I try to block out time where I could knock out the small tasks. But one thing that I do every day that is based from that came from this book that I've recommended a million times called Make Time, is that whatever my most important thing of the day is, that piece gets its own block, and it's in my planner. Like, no matter what, this is happening at 2 o'clock, and then everything else can go around that.
Mm-hmm.
And it has made me so much more effective as far as getting the really important stuff done.
So, and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that just makes it easier. Yeah,
It really does.
Yeah, I guess like I said, I go back and forth on it and all that jazz. So, did you want to take a couple of minutes to hash out your July since we've been talking for a hot minute?
Yeah. Do you want to like take a put up a timer and do some planning?
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to pull you and actually pull up the timer that I didn't have set up. So, what do you think about 15 minutes?
I think that sounds fantastic. So,
Okay.
how do you like to go about planning your week or month? Good question. You should answer that in. Well, I mean, for me, so I try to plan out my month and then break out the things that I want to get done in my weeks to accomplish the monthly goals. And I have started shifting towards a model where I'm focusing on backlist for 1 month and focusing on the writing for 1 month and focusing on, other stuff for the next month, and that launch. And that seems like it's been pretty effective. Look at that.
Yes, I have a timer. So,
yay.
And then while we're working, if anybody else is kind of excited to answer this question, feel free to let us know what you're hoping to get done by the end of the month.
I'm hoping to have a nice tan because I will have been on vacation all month.
That's right. I'm doing that book challenge. I don't know. No, you weren't there. Like, I don't know why I thought that you were there at the writer's workshop yesterday, but like we read a book. It was like write a book in a week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so Tamara and I decided that in July we were going to spend 1 week and we were going to write a book together. So.
I think that's awesome, and I can't believe I missed it yesterday. It's the last weekend where my mom is in town, so I've been sort of,
You've been.
I've been a slacker. I've been a slacker on author too, but I've been a good daughter.
I think that's a little more important, but that's just me.
And everybody loves Granny Jeannie. Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and we will do 15 minutes and then we will reconvene and look at answers on questions and all that jazz and hopefully have our life a little bit more together than when we started.
Hopefully so.
Yes, so I have started the timer. It is going to start in 3, 2, 1, and we'll be back in 15.
Hello.
Yes, hello. That was exciting. And I did that thing that nobody wants to endure, which is I ran out of the washi tape I wanted while I was in the middle of trying to set up a page, and so I'm a little vexed.
Oh, that's the worst.
First world problems.
Yes, totally.
Sorry. So how did you do?
I did great. I think knocked out my entire to-do list for next week.
Oh,
So
good.
I know. So I'm feeling very happy about that. And now I'm just going to be prioritizing all of the different tasks for the week to come. So good.
I looked at my my life, and I have decided that YouTube is not in the cards for me. So I will revisit it next quarter and see what my life looks like then. So
It's good though, I think, to, just like be aware of that rather than making yourself insane.
yeah, taking on too much, not knowing how to say no.
Exactly.
I got one person that I work with, and every now and then, like they talk about like how busy they are and how they're not sleeping and like all this other stuff. And I was like, you can say no. Like you can say no to things. Like this is totally an option. It's like, oh, but I don't want them to be angry at me. It's like it's not about them being angry at you because you're getting paid. It's like, can you do the work?
Right.
You can.
Right. It's hard. It's hard to say no sometimes. It definitely is. But also, like, if you're that stressed out, you're not producing great work.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking.
I mean, not that I would tell anybody how to live their life, but you know, when your health is compromised, I'm probably just going to look at you funny for a little bit.
Well, we don't want that to happen to anybody. It's important to take the time that you need.
Yes, indeed. But so, what are we hoping?
I look at what Athena and Sky wrote.
Oh, well, is that like the recent? Okay, you know what? We're just gonna start from the top and work our way down. So Aphrodite, in answer to my question, said that they're going to do. I'm going to do the actual rest of what's left of this month and get ready for July with the anthology and my new book and my film and all that. I need a break. I feel that. And you're going to get that feedback from me next week, by the way. I know you sent out that wonderful, very gentle reminder. It was noted. And it actually is on my to-do list next week. So you should get it before the due date. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So Athena says, with Camp Nano, I'd like to get edit 3 for People's Princess and chapters put in, and start Sarah's Publish and Thrive website building. Make step goal by working out and I don't know why I can't read. Gonna be a fun month. Okay, cool. Hi. So I was actually going to, because I've fallen off the bandwagon of my 10,000 steps a day, because of the way that my dieting has been going. But that was actually a thing that I was going to do for July, which is, get back into doing the 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah, I was really doing very well with working on the treadmill, and I don't recall why I got derailed, but I did. And I can't do it all day like I was doing before because it's really hot right now, and my office has windows on two sides. And so the sun comes across on the one side and then it hits the water and blasts back into my office. So this room is basically like a little hot box in the summer months, even when I had the air turned up. So I'm not going to be able to do it for like the next 2 months, but I think like, okay, I could probably knock out a couple hours of working on the treadmill when in the morning before it gets super hot. So I am going to try to do that. And I will say, I had been so kind of busy and overloaded for months and months and months and months. And last week I just took several hours and completely cleaned out my office. Like my desk was just, I felt piled to the ceiling basically. And I went through everything, got everything all sorted and put back in its little home. And I cannot tell you how much more peaceful and organized and happy everything feels.
I really relate to this. So it's it's a strange name, but I get why they call it. But there's a cleaning method called the Dutch death cleaning, which is basically when you clean your house out as you get older, so that way your kids don't have to take care of your stuff, right? And so I got a little interested in that just because I thought it was fascinating, and it led me to read a book. It was called Decluttering at the Speed of Life. And it's about going through like your spaces and things that you have and deciding what you should keep or what you should let go. And she was kind of like, I don't want to call her a hoarder, but from like what she was sounding like, she had like hoarding tendencies. It just didn't get to like, I need to go see a clinical professional stage. But she had like some really good tidbits in there. Like I think my favorite is the container method, which is like if you have like a box and your box can only hold so many playing cards. When you get more playing cards than that can fit in the box, that doesn't mean you get a bigger box. It means that you have to decide what playing cards in the box you get to stay, kind of thing. And I guess that kind of hit home for me just a little bit because when I was teaching, they taught us to hoard. It was like hoard everything because you never know when you're going to use it again.
Right.
Yeah. But I read that book and I completely decluttered the house. I mean, like several trips to like Goodwill, and I passed everything through Mr. Man too. Like when I had a pile, I was like, this all has to go to Goodwill, but I know that you're like married to me and I respect your opinion. So I'll let you decide if we're keeping or going. And there were like 3 things where he was like, I would like to keep that, but like everything else went into the car and took off to Goodwill.
That feels so good to get rid of that. Like I always think if you're not using it, it's better to pass it along to someone who will use it. I'm all about that.
Yeah. And one thing that we noticed, because I was going through like we're going through boxes of stuff that I haven't looked at for a while. And we had photo albums, and I was kind of like, I don't know any of the people in these photo albums. And so I looked at him, I was like, do you know any of the people in these photo albums? And he was like, no. It's like, so one of our grandparents gave us photos and didn't tell us who any of these people were. So that's going to be great. So that's going to be
Is it death cleaning or Dutch cleaning? I thought you said Dutch, but
it's called Dutch death cleaning.
Oh, okay. Dutch death, as in I want to clean up all my stuff before I die so my kids don't have to have a garage sale.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like my mother is just doing that naturally. She's sort of getting through, like, and then she'll say, like, oh, do you want this of your grandmother? Like, she's just sort of getting through that and, like, getting rid of stuff she doesn't need anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely changed my perspective on a couple of things too. Like so yesterday my husband had to go get like a new pair of jeans because we're both losing weight, and like his jeans were just falling off. I was like, you have to get jeans. Like this isn't a want, it's a you need. And so he was getting jeans, and he told me to go shop around the store, and then I went and found him later, and he's like, you don't have anything. I was like, I don't need anything. Like I have enough clothes. I don't need any more pots and pans. Like I literally just finished cleaning out the kitchen. Like it doesn't make sense to remove pots and then put pots back in.
And then put things back in.
Yeah. So
I feel that.
Let's see. We got 10 minutes left. So there's one more question I want to ask.
Okay.
And this is your favorite question, by the way.
Is it?
Yes, it is. So stationary nerds, what is your favorite product?
I will hold my answer. I think everyone knows what my favorite is, but yeah, I'm dying to know what everybody thinks.
I've become a pretty big fan of the Tombow brushes.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, well, they're water-based, so they don't bleed through, and the colors are vibrant, blah, blah, blah. Insert why these markers are really amazing here. I will say, though, that if you decide that you want to start getting these, all the packs do have duplicates, and I didn't realize it until I found the duplicates. So if you decide that you want to start getting all the colors of the rainbow, you're going to have to start tracking what you're getting. So.
That is good to know. Athena is with you. Pens. I can do so much. Pens. Aphrodite said the same thing.
Yes.
Pens. Very nice. Very nice. I'm all about the stickers. I love pens. Don't get me wrong. I love it all. Could that be my answer? I can't pick a winner.
Yes. You can love everything. It's fine.
I do love stationery, though.
I do too.
I love it so much.
I especially love stationery that has 160 paper. That's particular stationery I like, which is how thick the paper on the planners is, because I hate bleeding and ghosting, and that will make me upset to a degree.
It is so funny to me that I also am a fan of a nice heavy paperweight. And it is always funny to me that the only other people I know who are like obsessed with paperweight are writers and artists. Like nobody else in the world cares, but writers and artists.
Teachers do too. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can see
Well,
that.
because they'll hand us out like pamphlets and be like, "Oh man, you feel that quality? Like that's
I
nice."
know. I'm all about that.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I've told the story before, but I usually tell this is one of my favorites. But every now and then, when I used to be part of like writing group and new people would show up, and they would get their stuff printed at Staples, and so I'd always have to tell them it's like this paper quality way too nice for us. Like I need you to tone it down. Like we're plebs here, you don't have to bring the good stuff for us.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. But we're getting to the top of the hour, so that means that we need to start wrapping stuff up. So would you like to do your outro, ma'am?
I would. First, I would like to say thank you, as always, for co-hosting, but in particular for hosting tonight. I think it's so awesome to get get your month in order. I love it. Anyway, you guys know me. I don't think we have that many new people that came in since I did my intro. I'm Lisa Daly. I'm a traditionally published author with also some indie pubs. And over on my channel, we talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for being here. I'm Carrow Brown, also right under the name of Faye Black. Our links and all that fun stuff are down below if you want to read our books and see if we know that we're talking about as writers and authors and all that jazz. Lisa has a stream that she does every Wednesday. Yeah, I have nothing on this channel, like zero. So this is probably like the most activity that you'll see until 2 months from now when I'll be hosting again. So you've been warned. But on that note, thank you guys for understanding about us cutting it short this month, and we really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys have some good boxes to check off this coming month. So
Me too. We should talk about next month.
Oh, on July 31st.
Yes,
right?
yes. The next Boozy Plan-o-Rama will be July 31st, back over on my channel.
Yes.
So we will hopefully see you guys over there.
Only if you want to, but do it anyway.
No pressure.
So, yes. So, all right. Anyway, I'm tired. We're both tired. We're going to go 31st, 3-1, Athena, 31st. Sorry, I saw your thing.
Oh, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh.
On July 31st, which is a Sunday night. So
yeah.
Thank you. All right, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'm hitting the button.